I don't need to sit here and tell you teachers deserve to beat burnout and have peace and calm and take care of themselves. One thing that I can tell you is that it is possible to focus on effective self-care strategies that actually work so that you can beat burnout. I'm gonna do a 3-part series on this. Before I get into this, where are you at on the burnout spectrum? Are you a 1 where you're totally empty? Or are you a 10 where you're like, yeah, I'm loving life in the classroom? Just pop it in the comments below. I wanna know how I can help you best. And if you are at a 1, I can tell you there is hope. I've worked with hundreds of teachers in your position. Just hang in there. I'm here for you every step of the way. Teacher self-care is talked about. Like on Teacher Appreciation Week, we get little packages that might have little self-care things. But the interesting thing is that it's never put at the forefront. And we are never taught, well, how do I take care of myself? We just don't put ourselves first. We've always put students first. Maybe that's because we think of self-care as like spa packages or laying on the beach. Don't get me wrong, like give me those all day, every day. I could take that all the time. I call those short-term wins. They don't really stick. It's not something that is sustainable every single day. Like you go on that vacation, you go to that spa and it's temporary. You feel relief, but then you get right back into the grind and you're right back where you were before you went on vacation or to the spa. Those are good tools to use to help you look forward to something. But what we really need to shift to strategies that work, that matter, and they are in here for the long game, and they impact teaching and they impact your life. This first one is protecting your peace. And I mean protecting your peace fiercely, with intention, every single moment of every single day. How do you protect your peace, you're wondering? I want you to think of it as like 2 circles. So you have an inner circle and then you have an outer circle. Inner circle are the things that you can control, and the outer circle are things that you cannot control. For instance, we cannot control how a student comes into us or what's happening at home with that child when they walk into our classroom. If a kid brings in their homework or not. We can't control how a colleague or a parent talks to us. The budgets of the school. There's so many things we just can't control. So then let's focus to the inner circle, because this is the game-changing piece. These are the things we actually can control. And you'll be surprised at how many things we can control. We can control the expectations we set for our students when they walk into our classroom, how we respond to somebody, how much homework we give, or if we give it at all, when we come to school and when we leave school. I can control who I spend my time around. If I'm complaining constantly, or if I'm going to choose to problem solve. So there are a lot of things you can control. Once I shifted to focusing on what I can control, oh my gosh, my life in general and my life in my classroom changed significantly. It's not easy, but it's simple. When you start focusing on what you can control, you will see how much more empowered you feel. Like, oh, heck yeah, I can handle this. No way am I going to be burned out anymore. No way. Like, I am going to protect my peace, because if you start letting all of the outside frazzle, all of the outside mess come in, that is where you lose your peace. You are not protecting it. Now, I'm not saying this with a naivety or like everything is always sunshine and rainbows once you start focusing on the circle of control and the inner circle, because that's not true. There's always going to be this stuff out here that is very distracting. You can call it noise, you can call it frazzle, you can call it crap, whatever you want. There is always going to be this, and you do have to recognize it. Okay, it's there. I feel it. I'm going to let it run through me, and I'm going to not accept it, and I'm just going to keep it out, because remember, I'm protecting my peace. I want to challenge you to take this a step further and put it into action, because once you get this practice down, your life has changed forever as a teacher. Okay, you're a step ahead. In my Happy Teacher Survival Guide, which is linked below, it's completely free. It is designed to help you. There's a freaking fly. God. Sorry. So in my Happy Teacher Survival Guide, you really take a look at what you're focusing on. Think about your classroom. You walk in there. What can you control? What are some things you can simplify? Do you have to respond to parents' emails outside of school? What systems do you have in place? Like your expectations, your routines, your relationships with the students. You start honing in on that, I promise you everything will start to change. I just know it'll make a difference for you. Come back next week for part 2 of our series on teacher self-care, where I am sharing another strategy that is never talked about, but it's an actual effective self-care strategy that sticks. I am your biggest cheerleader. I want you to know that you matter more than you would ever know. Thank you for all you do.